Good afternoon from the Central Illinois Weather Network. I'm Larry Eastep. We do have a number of thunderstorms starting to fire up across Central Illinois. None of them severe at the moment, but all of them with the potential of very damaging winds, some large hail, and torrential rains. Let's go to Storm Predator. We'll show you first this nearly stationary line of storms that has developed from the Chicago area to St. Louis and points east and west of there. You can see these storms have very little movement in them, and these cells have really fired up along the same area, along these boundaries here. You also see a couple interesting things here I want to point out. These gust fronts moving away from these storms. This is cold air pushing away from these storms, and you can see very clearly here 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of these moving in different directions. As these spread out, they're kind of forming boundaries where additional storms are firing up, and you can see those. We don't see them normally that clear, but you can see them really good here on Storm Predator. Again, these round circles expanding out from the center of these individual storm cells, and literally in just the past hour, these storms just exploding along pretty much the boundary that we had yesterday. And that is creating some flash flooding concerns, and as the afternoon goes on, we'll probably see additional flash flood warnings as we had yesterday afternoon, and probably some severe thunderstorm warnings as these storms really get their act together. Now let's go into a little more detail here on Storm Lab. We've got this out of a little wider range. I want to show you here what we're talking about here on the Storm Lab composite image right now, and you can see here I've put on the hourly rainfall with this, so you're seeing some numbers show up here. Christian County, right over the Taylorville area, almost a ½ inch of rain in the past hour with these storms. We'll move in here a little closer with these images, and we can show you some of these storms in a little bit more detail. Definitely over portions of Morgan County right now and into Sangamon County. The potential for a lot of lightning, as you can see from radar, and also some very heavy rains. We'll get this moving here hopefully a little closer in, and we can show you these cells in a little bit more detail closer. Okay, moving in here a little bit closer over Sangamon County, you can see these storms pretty much lining up along I-55 from Springfield to Lincoln. A lot of lightning with these. Again, you can see all the lightning icons there, and pretty intense rainfall with these as well. And you can see the movement on these. There's not a lot of movement, but where there is movement, it's rather erratic. We've had storms drifting southeast, storms drifting northwest. Northwesterly should be the trek that we're seeing this afternoon, but some of these are starting to show indications of moving southeast as well, so we'll have to kind of keep our eye on it, because there's really not a lot to force these storms in any general direction. So a lot of times they're going to rain out and then form again in another area, and that's what we're kind of seeing this afternoon. Again, this storm you saw here with almost a ½ inch of rain over Christian County in the past hour has really kind of died out, and these storms again over Sangamon County have become strong. I can show you this in a little bit more evidence over on Interwarn. We can show you a animated satellite picture right now, and you can see right along this area here through Central Illinois a lot of storms firing up just over the past 3 hours since noon. There wasn't much there at noon at all, but then you can see the clouds start to build, and some pretty intense storm cells there show up around the Peoria area over towards Bloomington, and then a lot of storms down in the Boot Hill of Missouri into northern Arkansas this afternoon, as the atmosphere is very unstable, high humidity, temperatures around 90 degrees, perfect weather for those garden variety thunderstorms that fire up this time of year and can produce copious amounts of rainfall, as well as some large hail, because they really get a chance to build vertically very quickly. And but again, not a lot of movement to these, because there's really no forcing mechanism there moving them in any particular direction. So that's what we're right now. Significant weather advisories for many counties around the area for the next half hour or so. We'll probably see those as the afternoon goes on. Again, a really intense storm right now from Southern View to Sherman, over towards the Riverton area, and then another pretty nasty cell from Tallulah over to Ashland, Pleasant Plains, down to Berlin and New Berlin. We'll be watching those throughout the afternoon. Any warnings are issued, of course, we'll bring them to you right away here from the Central Illinois Weather Network. That's about it for now. We'll keep you updated as the situation warrants.